Hi everyone, my name is Tina Sepahpur and I am the Water Level Project Manager here at MARACOOS, and I appreciate you guys being here with us today. So before we get into the New Jersey specific work, I want to give you a quick overview of the broader regional effort that's going on here in the Mid-Atlantic. Okay, so to start off, coastal communities in the mid-Atlantic are facing more frequent and severe flooding. This can be anything from sunny day tidal flooding to storm surge and compound events, which is getting harder for local officials and planners to respond effectively. So, what keeps coming up in conversation is that there needs to be better real time data and a more connected cross state approach. And this project is helping make that happen through sensor deployments and hydrodynamic modeling. So we call this the Waves Water Level and Webcams project, or the three Ws for short. So while this is part of a broader national effort led by IUs, today we're highlighting the work happening here in the Mid-Atlantic. This project is a collaborative effort across 5 states, supported by the Inflation Reduction Act, that's helping coastal communities access the data that they need to better prepare for flooding and build long-term readiness. So this effort includes deploying low-cost water level sensors, wave buoys, ADCPs, webcams, and building hydrodynamic models to better track and forecast coastal flooding. So the data we collect feeds directly into tools used by emergency managers and planners, helping communities better prepare for things like storm surge, sunny day flooding, and wave impacts. And one of our goals is to make sure this data doesn't just stay local. So we're working with other regional associations to align this data with national standards so it can be used in federal platforms like co-ops, and eventually feed into NOAA and National Weather Service tools. So in the end, these efforts will improve real-time awareness and support long-term resilience planning across the region. So we've been working closely with the Weather Forecast Office to improve local modeling and forecast by sharing the data we're collecting through this network. But this isn't just about getting that data out, it's about building um, a two-way conversation with communities. So we want to hear from you and know what kind of data would be most useful in your day-to-day work or planning. And then really, this first year is all about listening and learning. So, where are these data gaps located? What's missing that would help respond to flooding events better? So, we're also making sure that we include different perspectives by connecting with tribal, local, and regional partners, because in the end, every community has different needs and priorities. So we have a customizable data platform called Oceans Map that Sherry will talk more about shortly. But we want to know, what would you like to see on it and how would it be most useful to you? Again, this is a collaborative project and the input we get from you directly shapes the tools we're building, and that would be most helpful for you and your communities. So we're partnering with University of Delaware, University of Maryland, Stevens Institute of Technology, Monmouth University, and Virginia Institute of Marine Science to enhance monitoring across the Mid-Atlantic. And although each state is tailoring their approach to meet local needs, in the end, we're all sharing common goals, such as improving flood forecasting and early warning, supporting community readiness and adaptation, and integrating this data into national and regional tools such as Oceans Map. So now that I've given you a bit of an overview, I'm going to briefly talk about what our other partners are doing in other states. So the first one is University of Delaware. This project is ran by Dr. Jack Paleo and Dr. Alexander Schuler. So their goal with this project is to assess local communities with coastal process understanding and provide real-time knowledge for data dashboard use and install a wave buoy network for offshore modeling and forecast. So on the map, you can see that there are some red dots. Those are the proposed 7 SOFAR buoys that we're planning on putting out that would give us hourly updates. There is still some ongoing engagement to figure out where they want to put the water level sensors. Next up is University of Maryland. So the PI for this is Dr. Tim Canty. This project is part of the university's HydroNet and Climate Resilience Network that built on University of Maryland's Grand Challenges work that started as a pilot program. So they were testing sensors in Annapolis and talking to local partners around Maryland. So the goal for this project is to expand the low-cost water level sensor network in Maryland and around the Chesapeake Bay. So they're focused on data deserts, which are areas along the Chesapeake that don't have any real-time sensors of any kind, better yet, water level sensors. So they've currently deployed 10 HOHO new sensors on the eastern shore, and they're currently looking at other sensors to deploy throughout other parts of Maryland. So with this project, there is still ongoing engagement to determine these locations with the highest need for these sensors. Last but not least, the project in Virginia is led by Dr. Derek Loftus. He's at the Virginia Institute of Marine Science, and this part of the project is focused on the southern Chesapeake Bay, especially around the Hampton Roads area. So the areas he's dealing with, people there regularly deal with flooding, but they don't have enough water level sensors in place to monitor it effectively. So a big focus is on supporting rural coastal communities that fall between more urban population centers. So these communities often don't have the resources to install or maintain sensors on their own. So this project would be a huge help for them. So every year they're focusing on different parts of the coast. So we have the Middle Peninsula, Hampton Roads, Eastern Shore, Northern Neck, and the James River. And they're going to be deploying two types of sensors. So they're looking at ultrasonic sonar and K-band radar sensors. They're also collaborating with the USGS and planning on deploying AI machine learning cameras in year 2 and 4 that can estimate water levels by analyzing videos. So all this data they get feed into a tool called TideWatch, which is a 36-hour storm tide forecast model that helps validate and predict where these flooding is happening. And since some of these areas don't have sensors yet, they're also bringing in the community science side by encouraging people to report local flooding through mobile apps. So this kind of input will help decide where those new sensors should go, especially in spots where both the model and residents can confirm that flooding is happening. So in total, they plan to install about 20 water level sensors across coastal Virginia over the next few years. And again, these exact locations are going to be prioritized based on flood risk, data gaps, and community input. And to kind of wrap this up, this regional network of sensors combined with like Oceans Map is giving communities the tools they need to understand and respond to these changes. We're very proud to support this work, and we're excited to see what happens in the next few years with this project.